So once we live, I'm gonna play it. Then you can tell me when to stop and give some commentary. And once we live, I'm gonna play it. All right. Okay, here we are.
It's just Levi. It does. I mean, I guess I haven't seen his lineage traced back. I just see his name's also called Levi.
He's a Levite, right? So Matthew.
Yeah, he's just a Levite. Now, if you made that same claim, bro, give me Bible, give me proof. Like, yeah, that's what he'd have done to you.
I should have been like, yeah, Mary's derived from Judah in Greek, so that means she's a Judite.
right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Same logic, man.
Is giving us a lineage, right? Lineages are very important in the realm of being an Israelite. Would you agree that Jesus Christ is an Israelite?
Yeah.
Would you agree that Jesus Christ was made of a woman made under the law?
Yeah, what does that mean, though?
Okay, so under the law.
Right? Yeah, oh my God, you about to make something up, man.
Right? Your lineage, your pedigree is determined by the seed of your father, correct?
Under the law, that's like literally Luke. What is it? Luke 1.
But no, hold on. No. Again,
no.
The law is what? What is the law? What is the law?
So you just said it, the law of Moses. You just said it. He just ignored all that. Damn.
He's gonna ask. He asked me once. I think he's gonna ask me a total of like 2 to 3 times.
Yeah. Ahrayahla, he's good.
All that he was made under?
What? Christ is made under the law.
Right.
What is the law?
I just kind of explained it, that 8th-day circumcision.
He's gonna be like, no, brother, no.
Yeah, that's the only.
I told you he'd be doing that.
I feel like that's when he gets flustered, when he does that. Hey, I think when you go on mute, the audio stops sharing.
Hey, yo, that is actually new. That's actually new. That never happened before, bro. That never happened before. That's actually new. All right, give me a second. He stopped crying. Give me a second.
What'd you say?
Nah, just give me like 2 minutes to get him to stop crying.
Okay.
Yeah, that new feature, because one time I did it live and I went on mute. I just played it and it recorded it without the sound. I'm like, yo, when did it start doing that? Bro, I used to
Yeah,
always
that's weird.
I used to always just replay a video that I did before. Or I place my host video and I go on mute, let the whole thing play, and it'll be documented, it'll be archived. Now it mutes the whole thing. I went back and checked the live, like, so the whole thing was on mute. It's weird. All right.
Only law that sacrificed 2 turtle doves.
Oh, okay. So that's you're talking about one specific law. That's the only law that he's made under.
Yeah, I mean that's the only law that it says, hey, this was fulfilled.
Right. I mean, how many birth laws are they?
When he said that, I was like, "What are you getting at?"
And the thing is, but you named more than one law. You said the circumcision, and you said the two turtle doves and 2 pigeons.
Right.
Like what else does the Hebrew male got to do when he's born? The first 8 weeks. Like what else he got to do?
So that the law of Moses may be fulfilled. You don't see anything else like that.
Well, Christ says in Matthew 5:17, think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So Christ's job is to fulfill the law, correct?
Yeah, but he's an adult at that point. We're talking about the way he was made. Like he said the word made. He said he was made under the law, bro. It didn't say he was
Right.
He fulfilled the law when he was born. It said he was
Right.
made under the law. And that's only the law that was given to Abraham and his descendants, even the strangers. Yeah, and anybody.
Right. And made under the law means that.
What sense though? Because
those sacrifices that Mary fulfilled, as far as Christ, it in a sense subjected him under the law, so that he could, in a sense, fulfill
right
all the law, but not in what he's quoting Matthew 5. That's why I just had to correct him. It's not like I don't believe Christ came to finish the law and complete the law. It's just the way he exegeted that scripture was terrible. And then he was like, no, brother, that's terrible. No, wait. What I just said is terrible. You want to go read? Notice how quick he left that. He already knew.
Matthew 5:17, and then right after that, he goes on to the Sermon on the Mount and he interprets the law. So in that sense, it actually means I've not come to misinterpret the law. I've come to fully interpret it, truly interpret it.
Fulfilling the law, that's horrible, brother. But regardless, right? Christ is made under.
Just look at context.
No. I'm looking at context of Matthew 1, right? And you're somehow telling me that I should ignore all the rest of the context and say, you know what, this is Mary's lineage, and Joseph is not important. Joseph is nobody.
So I have a question: is eganethe used in the rest of Matthew 1 for any men begetting children?
No. However, that's irrelevant, and I'm gonna show you why that's irrelevant. Again, Yaakov.
You guys are dealing with the birth of Jesus and how it's unique, and he's saying it's not unique. And you're saying, yeah, but the word that's used in the birth process of other people is not there. So the birth word is actually unique. Not only it's actually unique, it's only reserved for Jesus, and he says it's relevant. And like this is the problem when like guys like that are in control of the controls. It's like, wait a minute. How is any part of Matthew 1 irrelevant? Everything in Matthew
it made no sense.
Right. That's all the evidence. It's the birth. Everything. Hey, I can't tell somebody, hey man, 21 don't make you throw that out. All of Matthew 1 is relevant. Matthew, a large part of Matthew 2 is relevant because it deals with the actual birth. How can you say that's irrelevant about the main girl? No, that don't mean nothing. It's like, I'm sure that meant something.
Eganethan, down Yosef, right? Down Andra Maria.
This is the only Greek you ever read. This is Matthew 1:16. You don't read no other Greek. Yeah. Oh my God. I wonder what class he went to, what Hebrew is like class of Sicarii did he learn this from?
He probably freestyled it and never learned how to enunciate it, honestly. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
because they don't have a weird form of Greek. They don't have like a Lashwan Kodash for Greek.
right. So he had to be pressing like the play thing, pronunciation button to hear it, and just forgot it because he corrected you on Ganal. He kept saying Janelle. Like, dude, and like that's why if he knows not to ever talk to me again because I'm gonna ask him like, bro, where'd you learn Greek from? Like I'm gonna flat out ask him like, dude, like, did you learn? Are you self-taught or you went to somebody's video or you went to somebody's school? Like, how was this done? 'Cause I know you were self-taught. I'm like, yo, when does the G pronounce things like a J, bro? Because in that case, we'll have Jesus. It'll be no Jesus, right? We'll have Jesus.
Right.
This guy is crazy.
When we look at Marias, Marias is in the genitive case, right? The genitive case refers to the case used for a noun or pronoun. Would you agree that Marias is a noun?
That boy said gentative.
Okay. So the genitive case refers to the case used for a. Okay. Marias is a noun.
Yeah.
Okay. So the genitive case refers to the case. When we look at Marias, Marias is in the genitive.
Oh my God,
case, right?
And the way he slowed it down and enunciated it is even worse.
Pronoun. Would you agree that Marias is a noun?
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, he gave it 2 T's?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, yo, he's definitely displaying ignorance. And like, that's not even not because one time I was on a live and I was trying to say incentives, right? And I was saying incentives. I gave it 2 T's, kind of like what he did. And when somebody corrected me, I said, wow, I did say that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I accepted the L. Like, yeah, I did say that. And when I replayed that video, because it was like an important video, when I replayed it, I was saying that and I just let my viewers know, like, listen, I know I made that dumbass mistake. I know it's insensitive, but I was saying sensitive. Like he's saying gentative. Yeah. So, but he's definitely either way. Like it's definitely a display of ignorance because if I actually knew the word incentive up front without winging it, you won't make that mistake. That's all I point out. When you're educated correctly, bro, you don't make those mistakes, man. Just like I'm a typist. Like I type 70 to 75 words per minute. Like there's certain mistakes on the keyboard I will never make because my hands are on the home row keys. So you know, a laywoman will make a mistake that I will never make on the keyboard. Like with certain fingers. So like my right index finger would never touch anything on the left side of the keyboard. So I will never make that mistake that a laywoman will make.
So the genitive case.
And my thing is, I'm just saying, like when you're educated correctly on something, you don't make certain mistakes. And in chess, bad mistakes are called a blunder. So if you're typing on the keyboard and your right index finger goes to the left side of the keyboard, that's equivalent to a blunder. Like your right hand should not be on the left side of the keyboard at all. And your left hand should never be on the right side of the keyboard.
Right.
That's a blunder, and that shows anybody who knows how to type, learn how to type.
Don't.
You have no idea what you're doing.
Refers to the case used for a noun, Marias is a noun, to show ownership. Who has ownership of Marias?
Oh shit.
In this sentence.
All right. So the chat. No, I want you to explain this. So I'm gonna go to because we got to educate. Because if we don't educate, then it leaves off what he's saying is actually correct. So let me go to the blue letter, and I want you to explain what he's trying to explain that he blundered. So give me a second. I'm typing. My son grabbed my hand. He's sleepy, so he's sleepy. He started like really bugging out. We call it he's drunk. Cause like he behaves like an adult as intoxicated when he's sleeping. I'm typing. He grabbed my hand. I type. All right.
Oh, so, yeah. My daughter do the same thing.
Okay. All right. So I want to I should have had you show your screen. All right. So I want you to Matter of fact, you can use this. Here. I'm gonna give you this. Are you in a laptop?
No, I'm on my phone today. I let my wife keep it because she got schoolwork.
All right, let's see if I still can do it. Let's see. Still can do it. I haven't done this in a while. I used to be a Zoom like guru, like literally. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can. Wait. Let's see. I might have forgot to do it altogether. Yes, a wrap. All right. So why is he saying who owns Maria?
Because of that genitive.
Okay, so can you explain it? So I'm gonna go to it first. I'm gonna go to Maria. I'm gonna click the parsing, and it says genitive. So can you explain what's going on here?
Yeah, let me just pull it up real quick.
You can't see my screen?
Oh yeah, no, I can see. I was pulling up the definition of genitive real quick.
Nah,
Yeah, so
I can pull it up. That's why I say look at my screen. I just click it.
right. So he was under the impression that I guess he wasn't trying to think of the English equivalent of the genitive case. Because basically it shows ownership not of the genitive case itself, but of the genitive case owning something else.
So do somebody own Mary or do Mary own something?
Mary owns something or someone.
Right. But he thinks somehow he believes that Mary's being owned. So can you read that definition of the genitive case?
And I'll read the example because the example is actually pretty good too.
Right. Yeah, you got
It says the genitive case refers to the case used for a noun, pronoun, or adjective to show ownership, not possession, ownership. Because ownership is something. It's when I say I have possession of something, well, I guess it's similar, but the way he uses it is flexible with possession.
Right.
Because she's the possession in that case. But look at the example. It says his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temples. His disciples. So Jesus's disciples. He owns the disciples. So that's what it's referring to here.
So now,
and
let me add on. So remember, it says genitive case refers to the case you use is used for a noun. Mary is a noun, or it could be a pronoun. An example, it says his. So his is the pronoun. So the pronoun owns something. The pronoun owns the disciples. So Mary is a noun. So Mary's going to own something. Nobody owns Mary, and nobody owns the disciples. Don't own him. He owns the disciples. Right. So Ahrayahla botched that. He thought genitive means that somebody owns you, the pronoun, noun, or an adjective. That's what he thought. But again, there's no way he learned Greek properly and thought that. This is somebody who's self-taught. Bad job.
Because you actually go to the definitions. Sometimes with people like Ahrayahla, it's
Ahrayahla.
Like, yeah, or however you say it.
I'm quoting you because I'm saying it wrong. So it's Ahrayahla. Okay.
Ahrayahla, yeah. So I feel like, and this might not be the case, but with people like him, you have such a big head that when you're trying to study things, you don't humble yourself and actually admit that, hey, I don't know anything and I need to look things up. Right. So he'll go and read something and be like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, indicative? Oh, yeah, that's just a statement. There's a little bit more to indicative than just merely a statement. Like it's nuanced as well as the genitive case. So genitive, you also have genitive absolute, which means it could be a standalone part of a sentence, meaning it doesn't really go along with the full theme of what the author's trying to get across. It's more so like a side comment. So yeah, he needs to humble himself and just read and just study if he wants to learn Greek. But right now, he's below novice.
Yeah, because he's backwards. So just for any listening on this right now or in the future, I'm not reading the chat. I have no idea who's listening. It could be 0 people. That don't matter because this is archived forever as long as my channel is up and running. So genitive refers, so when it's a genitive case attached to a noun, that now owns something. Nothing owns that now. If this genitive is attached to an adjective or a pronoun, that adjective and that pronoun owns something. Nothing owns it. So the brother is going to make a huge blunder. He's going to think genitive means genitive is prescribed to Mary, and he's going to think the opposite. He's going to think something owns Mary. So I want y'all to hear it from your own ears. Listen to this guy. Oh, by the way,
if what he was saying was true, then Joseph would have been in the genitive case, not the direct object.
Right. So here we go.
You agree that Marias is a noun?
Yeah.
Okay. So the genitive case refers to the case used for a noun, Marias is a noun, to show ownership.
So he read the definition, but he clearly did not understand what he was reading. This is definitely
Right.
Acts chapter 8, verse 30. Do you understand what you're reading?
Oh, the eunuch, yeah.
Who has ownership
Yeah.
of Marias in this sentence?
All right. So now, do I expect to know everything all the time? Like, especially like verses that I really ain't looking to that? No. So
Yeah.
So anybody can ask me a question on the fly, and because it's like a live discussion, live debate, I'm just going to answer it to my best ability. Now, I might not be aware of his misrepresentation, right? I might give him the benefit of the doubt that he's actually honest. So I don't fault.
Right.
That happened with me with Captain Zariak and other people.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of take you for granted. Like, okay, I don't really know for sure. No, it wasn't Sicarii. It was Daraj from Two Nation Israelite when he said King Solomon did nothing wrong. Like, and there was LJ pointed out, nah, he sinned and he messed up and was, chastised, and God dealt with him.
Right.
Right. So
I definitely did not know that about genitive.
Yeah, I was unaware of King Solomon being stripped of the kingdom. So he actually got me. But he got me with a lie though. It wasn't like he got me with the truth.
Right. That's even worse.
Yeah, that's not nothing to brag about. Aha, gotcha. So he had me believing that King Solomon never was punished or stripped of his kingdom, that everything is coochie cream. Okay, all right. So let me go on. So let's hear this guy misrepresent the genitive case.
The man, the Andras.
Joseph. So Joseph has possession of Mary, correct?
Right.
Okay, so if Joseph has possession.
Okay, so he asked him a question. He said, right, but that don't mean it's right. He, from Chumi's perspective, he's like, yo, just go on what you're going to say because overall you're going to take this L. So that's
exactly.
Yeah. So that's why, like, a lot of times we don't really argue stuff too much because it really doesn't change the win-loss, decision in a debate. Like, dude, nothing you're saying is going to equate to Joseph being the father of Jesus. So whatever you're saying, let's move on because that's still not going to say Jesus is the son of Joseph.
And that's why, like, I just kind of I let him have that one, even if he wasn't right, because I wasn't even entirely sure when he said that. I was like, you know what, that's fine, because it doesn't seem like it's going to do too much unless he's like saying that makes Joseph the subject. He never outright said it, but I believe that's what he was assuming the whole time, but he never said it. That's why I was kind of like lost. I'm like, okay, I never asked him like, hey, what are you getting at with this? I just kind of let him talk.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, you're like, okay, I just want to know how you're going to make this say Joseph is the father of Jesus. So let me hear it. Just let me hear this whole argument.
It means that Joseph is the subject and Mary is the object. Mary cannot be the person or the one who's doing, right? Janeo or Eganethan, right?
How is Mary the object? What
right
verb
here.
connects? But no. What verb connects Mary as the object? Because when you say direct object, if I say I threw the ball, the object is the ball because it receives the action of throwing. So what object did Joseph do to Mary in this sentence?
Okay. So again.
Now, when you heard me replay like my discussion with him with this same thing, bro, this brother is totally unaware of direct object, bro. Like he has no idea. And this is why he's confused. And he just like kind of like just dismissed it. He's unaware. Because when I said to him, like, yo, isn't Joseph the direct object of Jacob's action? No, they're both subjects. So like he's just clueless of how a noun, verb, and direct object plays a part in the sentence. Like he just does not know. And it's okay because I'm not an English teacher and some things I'm not gonna know. It's okay. Like we brush up and we research, we fact check ourselves and we correct it and we don't make that mistake again. But he made it again.
Right.
Because with me, I point that out and now you had to. So he made the same mistake twice. That's what we don't do. If I'm wrong and I'm shown that, like with Hebrews 2, I can admit with Hebrews 2, I thought when it says him being lower than an angel, I'm thinking like Jesus is little lower than angel, but above man. But it turned out that it just means that he just man. So
right.
I dropped that talking point. You see how I can like correct myself and say, okay, I was wrong. It's not saying he's above man, less than an angel. It just saying
wait, notice the language though. It says he was made a little lower than the angels, meaning he was above the angels before he was made.
Right. Got it. Right. Yeah, and see, but most people will admit that. But I was under the wrong impression that he was made under the angel, but still above man. Like that was my interpretation of that.
No, I would actually concede to that. I would say that's true.
Okay. Yeah, because that was my
because he can't. There's no way he could have been the same as man,
right?
In certain regards, that's why I said he was made. He was made like unto his brothers. It doesn't say he was made in the exact same way, meaning they would have used a different word. They would have said like he was equal to his brothers or different thing like that. But they said like, meaning similar. So not everything that is true for Jesus is also true for his brethren.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I would actually agree with that he was lower than the angels, but he was also, in the same retrospect, in command of the angels. Well, in a sense, if you read the account of the crucifixion, he said, I can summon 10,000 legions of angels right now.
Yeah, now, what man can do that?
Right. Not even Moses.
Nobody can do that.
He said he was greater. Man, he said he was greater than all of the greats. That's like, bro, that would be like somebody pulling up at, what's that court in New York? What is it, Rucker?
Yeah, Rucker Park.
Rucker Park, yeah. It's like somebody pulling up over there and be like, bro, I'm better than Jordan. I'm better than LeBron. And you're like, wait, what? Like, bro, who are you, bro? And so he just puts up 100. Yeah. Like none of them can touch me. They spoke about my greatness.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I never heard of you.
Right.
And then it turns out, and then the claims he's making, he's saying, bro, I scored 150 points here before. You're like, get the fuck. Like 150. Yeah. And then he actually show you the video. Like, nah, look. Like, oh wow. Like, wow.
Yeah. MJ spoke about me. Oh yeah. He said,
right.
You learned from somebody. That was me.
Yep. And then you show the video of MJ. Like he's saying, like, yo, this guy is the best.
Yeah.
Like he's the real GOAT. Like, wow, yo, I gotta kill this guy. All right. So let me play. So I one guy said, will I be available tomorrow? Of course. So I'm gonna respond to that person tomorrow. Thank you.
Joseph has possession of Mary.
Now, just to keep in mind, chat, if y'all just came in here, that's Cat. Mary is listed as a genitive, and in Greek, genitive is owning something. Nobody owns it. Okay, so when a noun, object, or pronoun is listed as a genitive, it owns something. And we can lightly use the word possess. It owns or possess something. Nothing possess or owns it. Okay, so he flipped that to say Joseph owns Mary, and for that to be true, Joseph got to be listed as a genitive, which he's not. So he really just botched this, but it's okay. This is why we have recaps.
I have possession of something. It's something. If I possess this bottle, I am the subject. Possessing is the verb, and the object is this bottle. Correct?
What did we just say?
And look, he's saying verb. Like, what verb got to do with this, man?
Yeah, like, bro, if he is aware of anything in English, there's something called concise writing where you shorten things down. Instead of saying, I possess this bottle, you say, that's my bottle.
Right. Or how about this? Yeah, you talking about contraction, but how about this? How about just saying my bottle?
Right, or Ahrayahla's bottle.
Right. But the simple fact that you'll say Ahrayahla's and you'll add the apostrophe S, that shows you ownership. But there's
That's
no
what I told him, and he I don't even know what his response was, but I'm just doing a little research on this genitive. Like when you look at kingdom of God, God is in the genitive case, and kingdom is in the accusative case. Well, I think it's accusative because there's a little bit more in the scripture. It receives a certain action, not the possession, of course.
What chapter is that? I know that's Matthew's, but we're at Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew 6:33.
Oh yeah, I already know that. All right, let's go there. This is
Seek ye first the kingdom of God.
So you said Matthew.
So right, yeah. So I think seek is the verb. The kingdom receives that seeking, so it's accusative. But God is in the genitive because He owns the kingdom.
All right.
So whenever you see that, and most of the time, not all the time, because of is actually translated from a certain Greek word sometimes. But here it says kingdom of God. Of is not actually in the Greek itself. It's coming from that genitive case.
So what verse?
Verse 63, or I'm sorry, 33. 33.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, let's just do it. Let's go here. Let's do like how I was reading. Okay. All right. So where we at? Okay, guys, right here. So it's noun, genitive, singular, masculine. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
God owns the kingdom.
Okay.
Oh,
now,
look at his. Wait, look
now
at his.
You know, I seen that right away. I was going to say that. So his is God owns the pronouns talking about God. Okay.
Right. That's his own righteousness, the righteousness which he owns.
That's all God do with God.
Right.
All right. Okay.
That's interesting.
Now, I see kingdom. Okay. So
yeah, so kingdom is accusative.
Kingdom and accusative is what? What does that mean?
That's the direct object. It means it receives the action. When it says seek ye, it's talking about seek the kingdom. That's the direct object.
Right. No, that's absolutely correct. So
so wait, real quick, you might notice so I'm trying to wrap my head around it before I actually look it up. I'm sure I'll get more direct answers when I look it up. But when you're saying indirect object, give me an example.
Okay. So I will say I threw you the ball to throw to my son. My son will be the indirect object.
Or no, because are you sure?
Off the top, let me think about a little more.
I think it's like another noun indirectly receives the action.
Okay.
So
if I exactly. I believe that was correct. If I threw you to it, okay, in order for me to get the ball to my son, I got to throw it to you first. I think that's correct.
Or what if, like you said, I threw Demetrius the ball and it hit my son? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I might just need to look up an example.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's what this is for. Let's do indirect. Type one hand because he ain't gonna let me use my other hand. Indirect.
Yeah. I found this free game on PS5. It's like some dinosaur game. My daughter just goes on there and randomly starts playing it throughout the day. It's
Oh, you know
funny.
what? Yo, we can either just see the date. Let's see if we see a dative here. That's all we gotta do is find a dative.
But there is a dative. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's at the end.
not in that chat. Okay, so let's see if we can find a dative, because that's gonna pretty much just catch us up in context. Okay, so far, nope. Rare. No. Is that? No, definitely article. Shit.
I know there was one in that verse 33.
All right, so it's just gonna be more than what I thought. I was probably better off just Googling it. Right here? Nope. Yeah, okay, here we go. So we got an indirect object right here. Okay, so how does it read? And seeing that the multitudes, he went up, right? So the subject is this guy, into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples, okay, so the disciples, no, nah, that's still tricky right here.
Yeah, I think you just had one.
So tricky. All right, so look, let's just make it simple then, which I was doing from the beginning. Okay, so indirect object example. Here we go. Okay,
here's an example of the dative case real quick. It says his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temple. See, it's still kind of like hazy for me. I don't know. I might have to just do a little more research on that.
So I'm looking at my screen. An indirect object is an optional part of a sentence. It's the recipient of an action. So now this is pretty. Jake gave me some cereal. The word "me" is indirect. Jake gave me. Yeah. So it says me.
It's almost like and you can't really distinguish it from the direct object.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
So what happens is, like, we're gonna need the direct object and the indirect object in one sentence to get it. Okay, so
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I get it. So it says in English grammar, an indirect object is the word or phrase that receives the direct object. So if you say you threw me the ball, I'm the indirect object. The direct object is the ball.
wait. So say that again.
If you said, I threw Demetrius the ball, Demetrius is the indirect object because the direct object is the ball.
Right. I'm throwing the ball. I got you.
Right.
I got you. The ball is the direct object, and it goes to you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. I threw
Right.
the football to Demetrius. The football is the direct object because that's receiving the action of me throwing, and you received it.
Right.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, chat. We still learning.
Right. I mean, you know what? Like a lot of times, man. The fundamentals you kind of like disregard sometimes. You got to go back to them, and
Right. And sometimes you think about something being more complicated than it actually is.
Exactly. I guarantee the chat has no idea what PEMDAS is. You dig? So shut up.
PEMDAS. Dude, I got that locked in my head, bro.
Right. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Right.
so don't. But do you know the UK got their own? LJ gonna tell you something different.
Really?
Yes. They got their own. It's not PEMDAS. They got it totally different. LJ gonna tell you something totally different.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Bro, that threw me for a loop when I was reading, learning like algebra, like all over again to freshen up. And man, because it was showing a UK standard. bro, I was confused. I'm like, I thought it was PEMDAS. It had it totally
Mm.
different.
Yeah, I'm about to. I think when does it start? I think maybe August or September. I have a math course. It'll probably be like college algebra or something like that. He might go over it because he's a international teacher, so it's actually should be a pretty decent experience. I think the school was speaking pretty highly of him, so I'm kind of excited for that.
Okay.
I might just ask him about it. I might just ask him.
Yeah, it had they have their own PEMDAS. Matter of fact, I knew I was learning it. I was taking math like during the pandemic. I was taking math online, and they was using the UK standard, the British standard. And bro, they didn't say PEMDAS. It confused the hell out of me, bro. I'm like, what? What happened to PEMDAS? Yeah, they got their own acronym, bro.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yep. Totally different when we learn over here in the United States. So anyway, I get it now. I get it. That was tricky though. When you said I threw him the ball, right?
Right.
Him is the indirect object, and it's tricky because the ball is last. So so naturally you're gonna think that's the indirect object. You're gonna think the direct object comes before the indirect object. Nope.
Right. It's whatever or whoever receives the direct object. Direct object always directly receives the action.
Yep.
So, actually, wait. I was going to try to apply that to Matthew 1:16, but that doesn't apply because it's passive.
Yeah. And that's a tricky part because when it's passive, it's backwards. It's like, so the subject is receiving the action. That's like different than the action. Like, damn. So how do we explain that one? And
Here's a good example. Genesis 4:18. I like remember. I just read this because I'm going over the Bible again, and I just kind of got through this. It says, "And unto Enoch was born Irad." So Enoch would be the indirect object. Yeah. Enoch would be the indirect object, but Irid would be the subject because what's born is actually one of those cases in the Septuagint where it's egg and nethe.
Right. Got you.
Yeah.
That's interesting right there. And what was that? What chapter is that? Genesis what?
Genesis 4:18.
Oh, you know what? I ain't never really think about using the Greek for the Old Testament, like the Septuagint.
Oh yeah, bro. I have a dude on my notes on logos. I have a whole Old Testament Septuagint list of eganethe used in the Old Testament.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I remember you pointed me to Genesis chapter, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first part that it's used. And it's used a couple other times. I just don't have my laptop with me. I was gonna say, bro, if you wanted, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow morning, but I was probably gonna stay up a little bit tonight if you wanted to. What'd you say?
Playing basketball until about 11
Okay.
a.m.
Yeah. If you want to do something around like 12 noon your time, we can hop on Zoom and I can show you some stuff in logos.
All
Like
right.
just like basic stuff to kind of if you wanted to kind of get into it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because that when I go into that, man, that thing be confusing the hell out of me. All right.
Yeah, you can keep it real simple and then learn the advanced stuff later. But honestly, once you learn those simple things that are different than blue letter, you're gonna be like, yo, this is actually fire, you know?
Okay. Why do it keep saying private?
Are you trying to let somebody in?
No, I'm trying to like read the chat, but for some reason it's like on Safari. That's why I hate Safari. It keeps saying, okay, no, it's not private now. A piece T 15 miles. It keeps saying private for some weird reason. All right. So we got it. We worked it out. So now let's get to where we were at. So clearly, this brother doesn't know exactly what he's talking about, right? So let's go ahead.
Say that's Ahrayahla's bottle. There's no verb needed.
Ahrayahla.
Or when we just say, and we would just use the apostrophe S to show that that's yours. That's the same thing here. It's not. There's no verb needed to show possession.
It doesn't matter if it's a verb or not. In the sentence, Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born.
Now he keeps saying it doesn't matter, but Demetrius, he never explained how it doesn't matter.
Right.
He just tells you it doesn't matter, but he does a poor job of demonstrating that it doesn't matter. Now, if I say it doesn't matter, I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. He just says it, but he doesn't demonstrate why it doesn't matter.
And yeah, bro, I think I'm going to do a whole separate, what's it called? Throw it on my channel, on my YouTube, of like this debate. And actually, I got to email him to make sure I got permission. Because if not, he's just gonna get my account, like, because he's probably, I know he knows my account, and he might see, you know.
That's not how it works. So when you trust me, from people who borrow my content, YouTube notifies you and say, hey, this person is borrowing your content, right? And it tells you how much of the content they're borrowing: 10%, 5%, 100%, 90%, and it tells you what you want to do. And all you can do is just delete it. Like, you can request it be deleted, but
okay.
You can't flag them like that. That's not part of the options. You just say, hey, what you want to do? You want to let them use 10% of your video, or do you want to have that 10% deleted, or the whole video deleted? Something like that you can do. Because I've been sent that from YouTube. YouTube snitched on a couple people already. Me. And of course, I never say anything. I let them just.
Is the audio flagged or just the video?
All I remember is that it gave me an option to delete. So I don't know if I'm deleting the whole entire video or just my section. But when I read it, it came across as I'm deleting the entire video. Like that was my first impression. Like, so if my option was not deleted, their entire video was going to go.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do some segments and maybe upload clips if I figure out how to snippet it out and stuff.
Nah, but don't forget, you ain't got snippet. You got fair use. So like what we're doing, this is his look. This is his channel. This is his channel, and I'm able to like use fair use. I'm able to like speak, give commentary, which I'm doing. I'm not playing a whole debate, and that's called pirating. I play the whole debate.
Right.
I'm actually commenting constructively. I'm showing where he was wrong, and he didn't do a good job. So this is all within fair use. So like, yeah, so I'm actually doing the right thing right now. So there's nothing he can do about this.
Jesus, who is called Christ, right? You're taking that to mean based on and completely out of the context of what we've seen.
Now, what you probably can't do is download this video. That's what you cannot do, and upload it. So as long as you play it from his channel, I believe you're fine. But
okay, I wasn't gonna download it.
If you download and upload it yourself, that's when it's pirating, and that's when you get in trouble. But as long as you play it from his channel, and just comment over it, you're fine.
We've seen 3 other instances where women, are mentioned, and men are begetting children of these women. It's the same thing here, right? Joseph is the husband of Mary. Again, so I asked you about the law, right? In Hebraic thoughts, if I have a wife, right? She's in the other room, right? She belongs to me. She's my wife, right? To me. That's my possession, right? The scriptures say when you get a fruitful possession, right? Sow with your own seed, right?
So now you see what happened there right there, True Meats, that he misrepresented possession for Mary to believe that Mary's Joseph's possession. Now he believes, you see how wild I can go now? Now he has a whole doctrine that women are possession of their husbands.
Right.
He created a false doctrine just now. That's how
well, women are possession of their husbands, and husbands are the possession of the woman as well.
Right. Neither one of y'all can go.
But right, because if my wife came out and said, "Oh yeah, my husband's gonna be there at this and that time," then I'm her possession because I'm her husband. You know, that's what Paul says when he says, your body doesn't belong to you, it belongs to your wife. Your wife's body doesn't belong to her, it belongs to you, type thing. He talking about Hebraic thought, bro. Give me a source.
Yeah, right. Come on, man. They picking Jews. It's always Hebrew thought. It's never like New Testament. Never some okay.
Well, I could get like the Hebraic thought because I mean these were Hebrews, but the way he connects it is terrible by bringing in his own. He doesn't even bring in something from the Old Testament, which I would have more so enjoyed, even though I disagree with what he's trying to bring to Matthew 1:16.
Well, how about this? How about when I went to the Greek and I embarrassed a guy, then he tells me, nah, well, it doesn't matter. You know, the Greek doesn't matter. And then I say, well, why you say Yahweh then? And you know, why do you say Salakia? Why do you use these Hebrew terms if we just could say the English word? And like, of course, he was done. I said, Clay, just say Jesus, just say God. Why are you saying Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, Bashem, all this great Hebrew stuff? I said, because you believe that's the correct way to say it. Just like
Right.
the Greek. So, but this is what they do. This is why it's like just mind-boggling, dude. So you're gonna tell me because I killed you in the Greek, it doesn't matter. It's the English. But then you want to tell me the Hebrew way of saying Salakia and Shalom. You got to say Shalom. You can't say Shalom because the O is for the Jewish people. Don't do that. Oh, so it matters now. You just said it didn't matter.
Did you see Dr. Brown? He kind of destroyed the whole Hebrew like Lashawan Quadash.
Oh my God. Nah,
dude, somebody came on, they were like they said their little spiel, you know, Yahashua, all that crap.
By himself, speaking of tongues.
Yeah. And he was like, well, you know, that's not correct pronunciation. He was like, well, why do you say it? Well, he was like, I have a PhD. I read biblical Hebrew from the manuscripts themselves. And he said, even when you compare with sister languages, Akkadian, Arabic, Syriac, they all have these same vowels that we're using today.
Right.
I'm gonna send you this video too. I'm gonna put this in the chat.
Yeah.
On here. This is Joseph, the father of Mary, coming from this one guy. You should follow him. His name is Nehemiah Gordon. Bro, he has some good insight. And I don't know if I agree with everything he says because sometimes he talks over me a little bit, but for the most part, I can kind of comprehend what he's saying. But yeah, I'm gonna throw it down here. This is a good little video.
Discussion. Like I want to have a discussion with one of these scholars on the virgin birth, so I could hear where they're coming from, and I could give them what I got, and then we have like an honest discussion.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's my goal, to speak to a scholar on the virgin birth. And
I think this guy would be a really, if you're able to get in contact with him, he would be a really good person to have from the Hebrew perspective, because he knows how to read the Hebrew manuscripts of like Matthew and stuff like that. So I think that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that's deep. All right, so I'm gonna play some. Let me know when to stop it.
My wife is mine. She's not yours. She's not anyone else's. She belongs to me. The same way Mary belongs to Joseph. She's the object.
Oh, shit.
Right? This is how Hebrews, and Joseph is a Hebrew, Mary is a Hebrew, Christ is a Hebrew, right? This is how.
And ain't that going into what's the terminology when you start demeaning women, like making them like just an object? What's that terminology? It's shit. It's tip of my damn tongue, yo.
It wouldn't.
It's not male chauvinist. It's chat. What is that called when a man looks at a woman is beneath men? Damn, I forgot.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That seems like what's coming off from him.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, my wife's my wife's my equal. We just have our roles in the household. That's it.
Yeah. He called Mary an object. This chick is just tattooed. She's a Rolex watch. My possession. I pick her up, put her on my wrist, and put her back in the cabinet.
Their society, their law, right, was governed, right?
Oh yeah, real quick.
So when we look at,
I feel like I should have been more aggressive in looking at accusative and having him read it and kind of sticking him there. I feel like maybe I should have been more aggressive in that sense, because this was the point I wanted to hit home. After Matthew 1:16, you can notice I didn't care where we went to after that. The fact that he really couldn't show anything, kind of like, okay, yeah, I kind of want to debate, so
yeah,
I'm just chilling at this point. Yeah,
you playing with house money,
right.
you already won $1 million off $100, and now you might lose 50 grand. Okay, so I'm leaving with $995,000. You could have 50 grand back.
well, let me finish, right? And when we look at genealogy and how Hebrews reckon genealogy, right? We see genealogies established by the seed or house of one's father.
Seed.
In the law, and I can show you that.
Right? Even just now, he just couldn't say seed. Seed. He just
right. So in this sentence, Joseph must be the one who's doing this. Why? Because again, Marias is in the genitive case. She's the object. It says,
dude, if she's the object, then Joseph must be the subject that's doing something to her. She's receiving the action of Joseph. The guy that's just not in his mind capacity, bro. He just can't fathom it. And like, you have to just like, this is why he should not be in control. Like he has to accept an invite so you could show him like, yo, just relax. I got it. And just teach him basic elementary grammar. That's the only way he's going to finally say, okay, I see what you guys are saying. As long as he's in control of the controls, it's not going to happen. He's never going to get it.
Eganethan, right? Eganethan is in the passive voice.
So then I got to correct him, dude. And then that's when I got to say, bro, where you learn Greek from? Like, how you read it? And like, he's going to take that as a compliment. Like, yo, I see you read it. Where you learn that from? Some videos? You took classes? Like, you just learn on your own? And I want him to say took classes. And I'm going to say, well, bro, why are you saying Eganethan? There's no N there. Where do you see an N?
Right.
But I got to first set him up to say that he took classes. Now, if he say he's self-taught, I wouldn't like really get him bad too much problem. I just correct him. But if you say he actually like, learned correctly, then we got a problem. Like, dude, where's the N? Why are you saying Eganethan? That's a really bad mistake, man. If you take a Greek test, you're gonna fail. Just by saying that, you're gonna fail. They're like, yo, where's the N?
Represents the subject as being the recipient of the action. We already ruled that Marias is not the subject. She's not the subject.
So Joseph is the subject, is what you're saying.
Whether it's Joseph or Christ, regardless, Mary.
Now you don't find that problematic, because his whole argument was based on Joseph the subject. He said that over and over and over. He said it with me. He said all of the men are the subjects. Now I'm saying he's going back on that. Now I'm saying, regardless whether it's Jesus or Joseph, brother, that really matters. Because if Joseph the subject, you win.
Right.
So
but he couldn't show that.
Right,
it was just complete. It was conjecture the whole time. Oh, yeah, he never even got around to the whole genitive and why he thinks that's the subject or whatever.
Yeah, and this is why he got to accept an invite, and he's allowed to dual stream whatever, but he never will, because he one thing about somebody who's stupid, like Brother Polite, like they know not to really like have that real conversation where they're not in control. Like they're smart enough not to do that. You know, they know better. Because I would love to challenge Polite on his credit repair advice. I mean, like that loss for him would be worse than any Hebrews I ever debated. Like I will crush. Now, Polite claims to teach people how to repair credit. I will crush him on his scamming credit repair tactics. We'll crush him. Everything he's saying is illegal. Everything.
Mm.
Yeah, everything he's saying is illegal. Like and he'll get in trouble if the right people heard him actually say that. He'll get in trouble. Yeah. So that's why I know. So it's not defamation, no cease and desist. I actually can prove to do the scamming. So he couldn't scam me with a cease and desist. Like, dude, that only works if I don't have proof. I got the proof.
Right.
You said this, and you can't say that. You legally can't say that. You cannot say that. You cannot guarantee no return on investment. You can't do that with investments and financial literacy. Nobody can guarantee nothing. Warren Buffett can't guarantee you shit, bro. That's illegal. When you're investing, there's no guarantees. It's nothing but risk. There's risks. That's it. All you can guarantee is there's a risk. If you're going to guarantee with in the financial market, you can only guarantee a risk. Like, yo, you might lose it all. You might lose your initial investment, bro. Just know that. You can win some money, but most likely you're going to lose it all. So you want to carry on, you know?
Yeah, right.
So,
I wanted to, so this is just something random. I started reading this one book, something random, but like baptism. So you would probably think that baptism might be in water, different things like that. It doesn't really matter like what your perspective on it is, but it's what's interesting I want to bring out. I was reading, this guy was like, starts off this book. He did like a huge study from classical Greek. And he said, okay, one word definitions. He came up with pickle. You know how a cucumber is submerged in vinegar and the vinegar soaks into the cucumber and now the nature of the cucumber changes itself, right?
Yeah.
He says that changed nature or the pickle would be the one word definition of baptism, because baptism is not the action of being submerged. It is the action of a changed nature or a changed environment.
Okay, right. I understand.
That interested the crap out of me, because we always see it as baptized in water, you know.
You're good now. You're saved. They say you're saved. I've been saved.
Right. If you're truly baptized and changed with God's authority,
right,
then you are saved.
Yeah, but I don't know you back smoking crack though. I don't know if you're gonna be doing that.
Right. No. I mean, so there is a battle with sin. So that's not necessarily to say if you're still in sin, you're not saved. It's more so like, okay, God just hasn't dealt with you on this particular issue. But there's a lot of things you will drop.
What if you John Gotti getting baptized and like you're like still authorizing hits, and are you still saved? Like you're responsible.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the rest of your life. I mean, if we're just looking at that, but we're not putting parameters around it, like, okay, like for instance, Paul was a John Gotti putting out hits on Christians, killing Christians every day.
Yeah, but he turned it around.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
like he acknowledged he was doing wrong. He acknowledged it. He felt bad.
Right. But in the same retrospect, Jesus' own disciples were actually like, you remember when Peter called Jesus the Son of God, and he's right after that.
He denied him 3 times, but the third time he felt bad though.
No, I'm not talking about the denial. I'm talking about when Jesus said, okay, I'm going to be crucified in Jerusalem and I will be raised on the third. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But that was his human nature, because, you know, you don't want the Messiah to like die. So he's like, he thinks he's protecting his life. So at that point, he doesn't know better. He doesn't know better.
Right. And it's not like he didn't know better, because Christ had told him before that occasion exactly what was going to happen. It was more so that God didn't deal with him on that.
Yeah, but that was. But my argument would be like, how do you tell a human being, I'm going to die and I'm coming back? Like they never seen that before. Like it's like telling Adam he's gonna die if he eat an apple or fruit. He's like, yeah, I don't even know what death is.
Yeah, but certain men have certain measures of faith. Like if you look at the centurion, that guy was a Roman, and he told Christ, "Hey, you don't even got to step into my home. All you got to do is just say the word, and it's done."
Nah, I
Right?
got it, but
Yeah,
but also, I was told this by a Muslim guy. He said that the closest people to the water fountain never get hit with water. It's the people from far off. So that centurion, remember in the Old Testament in Isaiah, like every time Israel messed up, they were placed in the midst of Gentiles. So the
right.
Gentiles got to see God persecute the hell out of them. This is why they became believers. Like, oh shit, this dude is powerful. But the Hebrews,
Right.
like they couldn't see it themselves because they're actually being punished. So they just feel a certain way, like they're in their feelings. But the Gentiles,
Yeah, that's exactly like
yeah,
what's his name? Nebuchadnezzar's captain of his army. I forget his name, but he literally said, "Hey, we're come because you guys haven't been obeying God. This is God's judgment on you."
right,
And he actually did something righteous where he told Jeremiah, he said, "Hey, you've been a righteous man. You could either come with us or you can stay here. You have the choice, but the rest of them, they don't have a choice."
right. And look at Rakab. She told the two spies, I heard about your God. I seen what he did. He delivered you guys from Egypt. So the Gentiles seen like the mighty works. So this is why like the Sicarii and these guys were able to like get on board real quickly. It was Israel who was too close that just couldn't see it. They just couldn't see
Yeah. And it's almost like how certain people have privileges and only the people that don't have those privileges
it. Right.
see that they have privileges. Right.
And I was explaining that with like you know, let's say Warren Buffett, or no, let's say Bill Gates' kids. Okay, like his kids born a silver spoon. So if he try to give them the game, they're probably gonna like not care. But if he grabs a random anybody, Chinese, black, Hispanic, and say, "Hey man, I want to teach you about," they go, "Hell yeah, teach me." So like,
Right.
yeah, that his kid would find no value in it, but a stranger be like, "Hell yeah,
Yeah.
teach me, yo, I'm your slave, yo, just teach me how everything, bro. I won't argue at all." And like that's so,
Right.
and that's the Gentile, the attitude. Like, listen, I'll take a crumb from you. And that's what the Samaritan woman, the Canaanite woman was basically saying. Like, yo, that crumb is like a treasured chest from where I'm from.
Right. Because I haven't had any of this.
Right.
I mean, the Israelites are feasting and they're leaving crumbs.
All right. And I never had this, and I was never supposed to have it either.
Right.
It fell from the table and I snatched it up like a roach. Yep. All right. So let me play some of this. Let's go.
Mary's not having this child absent of man.
There can't be two subjects, though.
Okay.
It's simple, it's clear cut.
Yeah. He has no rebuttal for that. He just, okay.
Like, bro, it's just so simple. Like, bro, there just can't be. Like, I don't know what you're on.
Right. And I don't know where you're going, but let me just say this to you, bro. It can't be two subjects, man. But he told me all the men were subjects. All right. And look, he ain't argue, he just let it go.
Elihu begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob. Who's the subject here?
This cat is just so
Three
corny.
separate thoughts, though. You're going to three separate thoughts. On one complete thought, there cannot be two subjects unless one subject acts or one nominative case acts as a predicate nominative. So let me ask, because let me just ask this: of whom?
Now he has no idea what a predicate nominative. Like it's like he just like I have no idea. In his mindset, he's saying, "I have no idea what you said, but it sounds about right. So let me just let you just keep
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit over him, and if he wanted to ask questions, then I wanted to answer. But I didn't want to just nilly-willy explain everything because I feel like he was just tossing out everything I said at this point. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna make points, and if he wants to know, then he can ask.
Yeah. All right. So let me. Okay, here we go.
Who's that referring to?
Of whom?
Just ask this: of whom? Who's that referring to?
of whom was of whom is
Yeah,
in
who's that
reference to
referring to?
Mary at East. Same thing
Okay,
as
so
we
what?
same thing as we
Yeah, at East. East. It doesn't say East. It doesn't say East. It's an H there, my boy. But again, that's why I got to understand. That's why I told you. I said, bro, there's a backwards apostrophe here. I think this is an H sound. Then I looked it up on a reverse line or forward line. It showed it. It confirmed it. So I wasn't even sure. That was my first time really seeing that. Like, oh, wait a minute. There's a backwards apostrophe here. I think that's an H. And then we see it's H. But that's because I was trained the right way. I was taught, I was educated the correct way, not him. And that's why I like to know, like, dude, where you learn your Greek from? Because you're just messing up over and over and over. Now, if he said this, if he said, yo, to be honest, yo, I learned this 4 years ago and I really ain't touch it until now, I would give him a pass because he's not bad. You know, if he's going off just memory, I was like, okay, I'll give you a pass, but I got to correct you though. But you know, you got to be humble to get the correction. But if he's saying like recently, like he knows this stuff, nah.
Yeah, I don't know what resources he's using.
Right? Jesse begat David the king, and David the king, Ethan down Solomon, right?
They go that thong.
Yeah, it didn't even say Solomon. Yeah, this guy is hilarious. Yeah.
It was an Ekos style Urai.
Now it's only because you never even asked him to do that.
Yeah, that's why I just let him. I let him go, bro. I let him go.
But you have to like, there gotta be a reason for that.
Yeah.
You just
bro,
don't...
he's trying to masquerade as if he knows Greek by reading it, and the fact that he doesn't know that I actually can decently read Greek makes it even funnier. Yeah, so this is like an inside joke.
Yeah, because he just make a whole bunch of mistakes.
Right. So guess what? It was an Ekos style Oraios, right? So guess what?
That's wrong.
That's of course in reference to the woman, right?
But the reference to the woman is ek. The reference to the man, egenes.
Yeah, I really need to speak to this guy again, man. Because he needs to know, like, dude, I know you don't know Greek. Okay? And I know you don't. And matter of fact, I'm gonna prove it. Read 116 again, so I can correct you. Since you think you know this one so much, read this one. Let me just correct you. Okay, you almost said everything incorrect. Almost everything was incorrect. This dude said Jacob, Yosef. Dude, where you get that from in Greek, man?
Yeah, there's no why.
Yeah, where you get that from? Like that's what I say. Like, dude, there's no way you learned this properly, man. You just Googling stuff and hoping you're right.
Yet egenethe always refers to the woman. It never mentions a man. And I even have sources on that. But even the fact that it's of whom was born, that's a different formula than what we've seen all throughout Matthew 1.
But here's the issue. Brother Meach, right? If I just look at the root, right, Janelle, right? Let's look at what the word means, right? And let's look at the outline of the biblical usage, right? It says a variation.
All right, so for him to even define Ganal, I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a waste of time because the two words that they're focusing on is not Ganal. Ganal is not even a word that they're focusing on. So to read this, that's like Meech and myself are arguing about a lion versus a tiger, and then I just read the definition of a pit bull. It's like what?
Right, or you read the definition of a rare breed of lion, and we're talking about a different breed. Yeah, right.
It's like, yo, what'd you just do just now? Yo, are you reading a liger, bro?
And, dude, it's funny because with the Hebrew Israelites, they look at blue letter as like a buffet when they go to look at the outline. They're like, all right, I'm gonna take a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and that's not how it is. It's a set meal. You get what you're supposed to have in that certain, situation.
It's interesting because when they read the blue letter, it's like, dude, if you adhere to the blue letter, then you're done with the whole Gentile argument. Like, dude, anyways, your time to beat me on that one. It's over.
I bet they couldn't even give me which scholars made the biblical outline on Blue Letter. Because if I show them that these are white men, I'm gonna be like, so you trust in white men?
Right,
You got
right,
any black resources on this? I don't do. I have to look. I actually do want to do research and see if there's any black Greek scholars that have any type of like lexicons. Because then I would use it.
Nah, I doubt it. Doubt it.
Probably not ancient. Maybe a little more modern.
I have a lexicon. I doubt it.
Hey, you never know. There's some smart brothers. I know there's
I got you, but the thing
yeah.
is, like, they probably have attitude like, why do I need an extra one? The last one's good. You know, like
right.
why do I need mine? Yeah, the other one is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll just refer you to this one. This one, I agree with this one. It's good. You know.
So G1085. Let me see what that is real quick. Genos, right?
Yo.
And we see how Genos is used, right? How it's used.
Genos.
Yeah, this guy pronouncing the G as a J. Oh my God.
Offspring, nation, stock, born, diversity. Now, what I find interesting is nation, right? Nation and kindred. The Israelites' nation and kindred is literally a patrilineal kindred, and nation is by the house of your fathers. Now, when I go back to Janeo, right, it says properly.
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
Of the father, but
yeah. Now,
look how he's going to apply this definition.
All right, I'll just play it through.
By extension of the mother. What does that mean? Right? Me and my wife, we don't have any children, right? But let's say that my wife gets pregnant, right? And we have a child.
I found that interesting. You're married, no kids. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, so that he just proved the argument, because they would say Mary and Joseph having sex, so they got a kid. It's like, no, but you and your wife having sex, right? Because then you're not married, according to their logic. So so you just said you and your wife, you're having sex, right? Yeah. You have any kids? No. All right. So even if they were having sex, that don't mean a kid is born.
But so his what he's gonna go on to say here is by extension of the mother, meaning if me and my wife have a kid and I say this is my kid, by extension, it's my wife's kid also. That's not what by extension means in any definition when you go in lexicons. By extension means extending the word itself to mean of the mother. So, like, for instance, if you look at the word hate, it says by extension, it means to love less. So when you say hateful, it's loving less, but it doesn't mean that hate means to love less. See, he's doing I forgot what the fallacy is, but it's basically where he's falsely attributing definitions in places that they don't belong.
Okay, yeah, typical.
I'm the father, she's the mother. Janeo, right?
Janeo.
I'm the one who procreated with her, right? Properly of
chat. There's no such word as Janeo. Like, and he stands on.
Oh no, how he used it though is first person. Janeo. Okay, he he mistakenly used it, right?
Brother, there's no G that sounds like a J. And there's no
the way he's pronouncing it, yeah.
And there's no A that sounds like an ape, like or 8 o'clock. So
yeah, that's only in Hebrew.
Yeah, there's no word Janeo in Greek. It's literally Ganao, and that's just annoying because he's 10 toes down on that one. He's not going to fold. In his mind, there's a Janeo or G in Greek, and Greek tells you that the G is like G. It ain't
right, and the A is always flat. It's like like almost apple, but not like A as in 8. That's only in Hebrew when you see. If you ever read in Hebrew and there's like a line below a letter or a small T, that's distinguishing the long A from the short A.
Well, I will say this: in Greek, the A is not apple. It's like Spanish. It says, like, if you say agua, like, it's not agua. right? Is agua.
Yeah, it's just a short sound. It's nothing long. It's not like the
it's almost like
what is it? It's
like
not like the Omicron and the Omega.
Yeah, it's like Allah, right?
Right.
So the A in Spanish and Greek and Hebrew and those languages, Arabic is going to be ah. It's going to be
right.
Allah, right? So Arabic is not Arabic, it's Arabic. So
right.
So you have that, and in English we have the apple sound with A. In these languages, these Eastern languages, the I is usually E. That's why you say tia or tio or like grandma and grandpa. You don't say it ain't it ain't till. It's, the I is used like an E sound, right? This is standard Eastern language. So there's no L. And there's no O sound either, because the O, like you said, the Omicron is the O. The regular O is ah, like agua. So he's just all the way wrong, and he has not learned this the correct way at all. He's bad at Greek. He's bad at research. He's never learned it formally. I'm telling you, he's never had. Whatever teacher he learned from is like, yo, don't ever say my name again. Yeah, this guy's terrible. So
he'll probably be like, yeah, I learned from William Mounts. Nah, bro, William Mounts teaches you English before he teaches you Greek.
There's no way I'm telling you. I would love to talk to this guy, but you can forget about it. Like, this guy's insecure. I call him a sodomite. He's insecure, and he's a suspected sodomite, and he won't ever talk to anybody outside of his controls. He won't do that. He's very insecure about his education.
Me, the father, but by extension, the mother. Again, a baby cannot be created without a mother and a father. Do you believe that Jesus Christ came on this earth as a baby? Yes or no?
Yeah.
How many chromosomes did Jesus Christ have?
Watch my response.
Yo, dude, I'll say, you tell me from the Bible.
Right.
Read it to me. Read the chromosomes of Jesus, his DNA makeup. Read it to me.
What's all of them? How many?
46.
Okay, where did he get those 46 chromosomes from?
He got some from Mary and some from the power on the Most High.
So he got some from a spirit? He got chromosomes from a spirit?
No, not a spirit. The power of the Most High.
The power of the Most High.
You gonna sit here and tell me that God can't do that?
I'm not saying God can't do anything.
All right, shut up, dude.
No, that's exactly. Right. Look, he's saying, oh, I'm not saying God can't do that, but he can.
Right. It's like, dude, like you're a bad atheist, right?
Yeah.
You're a religious atheist at this point.
And I always go back to Isaiah 7 when he said in verse 11, God said, ask me anything in the depths of heaven, in the depth below, and I will do it. And Ahaz didn't want a sign. Okay, I'm going to just give you a regular sign. You're not going to be able to tell. It's just going to be a virgin having sex with a man, bringing forth a baby. Something very regular. A sign is supposed to point to something, and the sign is always miraculous. Look at every single sign, and it points to something. It's always something miraculous, or it points to something else. Like circumcision points to something miraculous, the circumcision inside of us.
Yeah, I think it was you that pointed out. Yeah, it was you that pointed out that Jesus was born miraculously, by a miracle. He performed miracles, and he went out like a miracle. It's like, yo, that just makes all the sense in the world.
Right. And even his death was a miracle.
Right. Like, everything about the guy was a miracle, and you're trying to deny the birth miracle. That's weird. That's just like, dude, you're crazy.
Right. And, especially how he died and when he died. If you're dying by crucifixion, you're usually going to die in like a whole day. It takes a while because that's like death by suffocation. But since he had already been whipped, he had lost a lot of blood. By the time they came to break his legs, he was already dead. It took maybe, I think, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because he was up there around, they say like 2:30. And the next day started at 6, which was the Sabbath. That's something else interesting. I think the Hebrew Israelites disagree on, I don't know if you understand this, but in the first century, the day began at 6 p.m.
I
Not
know that.
yeah, right.
I had to, like, you guys see my discussion with Apostle. Apostle didn't know that. So when I was going on creation, I was showing like the day starts in the evening and it ends in the morning. And he didn't get that, you know.
Right.
But
And you got to keep in mind that that in the first century, these Jews were coming out of Babylon. They were following oral Torah, oral law, which is why Jesus said certain things the way he did. And in the rabbinic tradition, they say that the day begins at evening because of that Genesis account when it says evening and morning were the first day.
right. It said that. Get a formula. Evening first, morning second, and that makes it a day. And the next day,
Right.
our evening is going to close in the morning. That's different to us. Like we believe the night ending is the last of that day. It's the close of that day. And it's funny because a lot of this language is like it's similar to stocks because stocks the candle it has an open and close. I'm telling you, it's like really if I wanted to, I could make that like analogous. It's like really similar language.
Right.
All right. So
Yeah, we got to have a discussion one time on the crucifixion of Christ. I think that would be interesting.
yeah, we got to write some Hebrews on for that one. That'd be a good one.
No, me and you got to do it first, and then we got to invite some Hebrews.
Okay.
Because I know you believe it's Thursday. I hold to Friday.
No, I say Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. No, what's his face says it's Thursday. So you're gonna be more fun because I know how to talk to Wednesday. Thursday is a little trickier because I don't know, it's just weird. Like Wednesday is a little bit easier to discuss with, but I feel like that'll be a good combo.
Yeah. All right. We play. Let's go.
God stopped creating. God stopped creating on day 6. He rested to day 7, right? And guess what? When I look at how he created male.
So he stopped creating on day 6.
Hey, Pete Yolanda.
So before you were formed in the womb, did God just let you just happen, or did he do that?
Sir, God created a system, right? An enclosed system known as our world,
enclosed.
Right? Where you have human beings, right? And you have animals that are male and female.
All right. Now, I know this stupid fool don't know about 3 systems. And I believe it's chemistry. I know he doesn't know that. So when he go ahead and say that, okay, open, closed systems, and the isolated system, those are 3 systems. That's a chemistry teacher. So you got to actually learn chemistry to know that. Like during the pandemic, I took chemistry classes. Right. So when you say closed system, it's like, dude, Earth is not a closed system. Space is. Earth is an isolated system. Okay. So he has no idea what he's saying. Okay. At this point, he's just winging it. He's winging it. Like
it's almost like as if he's saying, not that because this seems to be his argument now that I'm thinking about it, that God couldn't have caused Christ to be born of a virgin because he stopped creating on day 6. So he stopped performing, like everything's closed. There's nothing that happens out of the norm.
Right.
That's what it's, doesn't it seem like he's saying that right now?
No, definitely. And so Elijah doesn't pull fire from the heavens to kill off.
Right. Elijah isn't translated into heaven. Enoch isn't translated into heaven.
That's out. Yeah, that's out.
Right.
God
didn't cause the flood to come down.
And the manna that feed the Israelites in the wilderness never happened.
Okay. Right. That was just hail.
And what about the pillar by day and the fire by night? That never happened.
Right. They imagine that. Right.
Because that's not something that goes on normally. Like that was at one time.
Right. A miracle is basically anything that happens outside of the norm.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily something that appears like magic. Like, here's something interesting. I don't know if you read about the story in, I think it's 1 Kings 8 about Elijah, or no, Elisha, 2 Kings 8, where basically, I think these men were looking for Elijah and they were hacking at some wood, and a piece of iron from the wood or from the axe itself came off, went into the river, and it floated. Bro, do you know iron sinks?
Okay. Yeah.
So the fact that it floated was a miracle because that never happens. This
Right.
was like pure iron as far as, and they understood that Elisha was a true prophet because of that miracle.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another story about God making it rain in some ditches. That was like a miracle. That's like, it's like foggy. I would have to like just look at my notes.
Oh, you talking about in the story of Noah
No. It was not Noah.
or Jonah? I'm sorry, Jonah.
No. It wasn't Jonah. This was
Oh.
around like the Kings type thing, where the Most High. This was a flat out miracle, bro.
I know what you're talking
this was
about.
an
Yeah.
impossibility. Like this cannot happen in nature, like that.
You might be talking about either a different king or Elijah when he went to Mount Carmel to challenge the priest of Baal.
I forgot what it was, but I do know it was literally a miracle. It was outside the norm. This cannot happen in nature. So that's why they be like killing me when they like pick and choose. Like, dude, are you a Bible believer or you're an atheist? Like, you can't be both. You're a religious atheist. You pick and choose what cannot happen, and then you believe when you want to believe.
Right, when it suits you.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be consistent. All right, so let's go. Let's hear more idiocy.
That go forth and procreate. He literally created that to do these things, So of course he created me ultimately, but he stopped physically creating things day 6. Day 7 he rested, right?
Can you go to Jeremiah 1:4?
That has nothing, sir. That is, you're going to, I know where you're trying to go, and that is a gross misrepresentation, all right, and just a twisting of what Jeremiah is talking about, right? That, sir, is horrible, right? And I'm not even going to even go there, right? Let's stay right here.
He didn't go to none of my verses.
He never
none
did.
of them.
Yeah, everything you say is stupid, irrelevant. Hassan was saying the same thing to me. It's stupid, irrelevant. But then they could say whatever they want, and you got to go there and read it.
Right, and he was like, when we were in the Syriac, he was like, pull that up. I'm like, I'm gonna just read it because I feel like if I'm like, yeah, let me share my screen, it's gonna be, oh, we're gonna go to something else. So I just, bro, that's why I was like, I'm like, bro, you're not even gonna let me to go to nothing. Like he was like, all right, we're gonna go. I think it was First Chronicles 2. He was like, all right, we're gonna go here, but we're gonna go somewhere else first, and we never got back there.
Yeah. You know, he knows from me not to deal with Sheshan. He's like, hell no, I ain't doing that again.
I asked the question: how many chromosomes did Jesus Christ have? You said 40, all of them. I said, okay, how many? You said 46. I said, okay, who did he get them from? Because last time I checked, a human being has 46 chromosomes, 23 in which they get from their mother, and 23 in which they get from their father. Let me ask you another question: who determines the sex of a child?
Oh shit.
Who determines the sex of a child?
Yes, who determines the sex of a child?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The male. Because a male has an X and a Y chromosome, and a female has 2 X chromosomes, right?
Okay.
You can either get an X or a Y from your father. If you get an X from your father, you're a female. If you get a Y from your father, you're a male. How the hell is Jesus Christ a male and an Israelite if he does not have a father?
That's the power of God. I believe God can do anything.
God.
I know that.
How does God?
I know that pissed him off.
Yeah.
He does.
He's a Christian.
Through his word, right?
Yeah. Well, wait, before we get there, because I kind of see where we're going. Do we see anywhere in Matthew 1:16 in any translation, Joseph begat Jesus?
Yep. Let me pull it up.
Here we
Hook,
go.
line, and sinker.
Dumbass fell for it. His arrogance,
I'm glad
bro.
you asked that question.
Wait, what did he say? He said, glad you asked the question.
Hot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Begat Jesus.
When he said that, I'm like, no, you're not, buddy. Let's just go there.
Right.
Let me pull it up. Give me a hot second. I'm glad you asked that question.
Damn.
Let's see.
Throw your training in the trash, bro.
Oh my goodness.
No, I got this window open because it's freaking cold in my house right now.
Dude, I didn't realize how heavy I was breathing, bro. He really thought I was outside traveling.
How was that trip though?
It definitely sounds like it though.
It was good, man. It was good.
Yeah.
I was I'm a Torah keeper. We keep the Torah, so we keep Feast of First Fruits, we keep Feast of Tabernacles and whatnot. So ever since I've been in the truth, right?
I wanted to nail him on
I've
that,
been-
bro. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let him say it.
I've been
Yeah.
keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. So like, I'm getting used to camping. So, just wanted to get away, really step back and, just relax. So it was beautiful. I appreciate
I should have
that.
been like, what'd you make your tent out of?
All right, fine. Let me see.
Because you're supposed to make it out of things
So
in
this is
nature, right?
So the Syriac,
Really?
Yeah, like
translation
pause real quick. I'll
right?
just explain this.
Oh, he went to the
When you look
Syriac.
at
I think he'll do the whole begot thing with Egan that thing. He went to the Syriac when you asked.
yeah, and it was like so with the Feast of Tabernacles, they built so they had to be in Israel first off. They had to be in Jerusalem, and they had to dwell in tents, not tents that they bought, tents that they would make themselves. Because it would be similar to them basically being in the wilderness in boots. It's to kind of bring that into remembrance and the final deliverance, similar to the deliverance out of Egypt, the deliverance that God would give his people in the end days.
Yeah.
But yeah, all these feasts, most of these feasts had to be done in Israel.
Mm.
That's what they're like, oh, that's not applicable. Really? You can't go to Israel right now and do this? Like this was a command. This wasn't like you at least had to be at one. Sometimes they couldn't make all three. So sometimes they would bring their sacrifices for the other feasts they missed, the sacrifices, they would bring everything in one go. And I think the most important one was usually the Day of Atonement.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can't bring sacrifices. There's no more sacrifices. So all of these feast days have sacrifices in them. So that means you can't really do these, especially Day of Atonement. Christ is our atonement lamb. But yeah, keep playing it. Just wait till he bring up this. I mean, I already got the Syriac pulled up on my end. I'm just waiting for him.
Damn. All right, let's go. Syriac. He's gonna read it. He's gonna have you read it in English though.
Right.
Let me pull it. I have it right here on my phone, but let me go ahead and try to pin this. Let's see. Actually, do I have books? Give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing my screen real quick.
Oh damn.
I'm not sure if I have the book app here on. Okay, boom, I do. Evangelion. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. There we go.
Yeah, I ended up getting a whole pack of Syriac stuff on logos just for this specific for this debate.
Yeah, and look at this guy. He's taking forever.
All right. I'm like, bro, pull it up, man.
Yeah, it's good
Syriac
stuff.
Sinaiticus, right?
I'm gonna pop it up on the screen real quick. Give me a second. All right. Let me close this out because I've been editing videos real quick. Let me see. Boom.
Dude, I was about to throw a slight comment at him when he said, this isn't Syriac, right? I'm like, brother, I'm not like you. When I actually sound like I'm making a point and I know something, I actually do know it.
Yeah. So
This man.
forgive me, brother. Boom. All right.
He was like, this is in Syriac.
You see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so boom.
Yeah, and I got the digital copy of this not the exact same one. I don't think they show
translation of the
the
four
original
gospels from the
manuscript.
Syriac of the
Say that again.
I got the exact same one that he has, but I have it digital. He has the photocopies.
Oh, it's on me.
Sinaitic palimpsest, right? So let's go down to Matthew. The first is introduction.
So we're back in Matthew.
Again, chat, that's palimpsest, not palimpsest.
Wait, what you say?
He said the Syriac palimpsest is pronounced palimpsest, like SEST.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's got make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
The
It's
Gospel
Russian.
of Matthew, right? So I'm going to start at verse 14. Azor begat Sadak. Sadak begat Akim. Akim begat Eliud. Eliud begat Eleazar. Eleazar begat Mathan. Mathan begat Jacob. Jacob begat Joseph. Joseph, to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin, begat Jesus, who is called the Christ. Here we see Joseph is the one that's begetting Jesus, who is called.
We didn't read that
the
at all.
Christ, right here in the Syriac Sinaitic.
No, it says that. It actually does say that in here.
So, brother,
But-
David,
Oh, yeah,
what
yeah,
Greek,
Syria. Got you.
manuscript they got?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So if we match them up with all the Greek manuscripts we have today, they match up with 0 of them. That, and I'm talking about the Texas Receptus, all those that go in there, and the West Cotton Port. I'm guessing that your King James only, which is Texas Receptus.
I'm not a King James only. I'm not King James only. If I was King James only, I would not bring this up.
Okay. But still, it doesn't matter. Even with the West Cotton Port manuscripts, it agrees with 0 of them. Even though same the Codex Aleph that came from Sinai, which is the same place this one is found in. This one's found 2 centuries later than the Codex Aleph. It doesn't agree with them.
So you're saying
also,
that you're saying that this is a Greek text?
I'm saying this is a corrupted translation. No, this is not Greek. This is a translation in Syriac. But we have many different translations in this time. We actually have 4 other Syriac translations that don't agree with this. The only thing that you have is one old
Can you
Latin.
show that to me?
What?
Can you present that to me? Can you show me that?
Yeah.
Bro, notice he didn't let me finish like one thing I said.
It's actually the D. Forget the name of it. But the prosciutto is the main example.
The prosciutto.
So if you just type in, I got the prosciutto translation. Let me go to verse 16.
Prosciutto?
Yeah. Prosciutto. Some people spell it differently.
Oh, hey, pause it real quick.
It says, Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who was called the Messiah. So same way.
Oh, I think you fell asleep, bro.
Okay, and guess what? Even that does not prove that Mary had Christ absent a man. It just does not, brother. It does not.
Terrible point. Terrible.
Right, let me stop sharing this screen.
But guys, just for the chat, the version I was referring to is Diatessaron.
So
That's what it's called. I didn't want to torture it.
Real quick, right? What tribe was
It's called Diatessaron. If you go up on Wikipedia, it'll show you all the different translations in Syriac. There's later Syriac versions, Syro-Hexaplar version, Peshitta, or Peshito. That's how I've seen it pronounced.
On the first day of the second month.
And then the Curetonian.
I love this word for pedigree, right? Look at this word for pedigree in the Hebrew, right? Where are we at? Boom. Yalad, right? They're distinct, right? Look at that word, right? It means to bring forth, to be born. Now, when we look at how this is translated in the Greek, right? Where are we at? Bum, 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 bum.
Excellent. Let me get in place.
Oh, bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, and I can hear you now. I didn't hear you. If you was talking before, I can't hear you.
Genesis.
Oh, I don't know if it was my connection. I wanted to so you remember when I said there's other Syriac translations?
Yeah.
Right. So the one I was thinking about that starts with the D is called the Diatessaron. That's another version that is very similar to the Peshitta. It came out in think I don't see a date on this. It says it was prepared around 170 AD, but it was probably written a little bit later. There's Peshitta, the Syro-Hexaplar version, which was around 617, also disagrees with what he just read. And then, of course, later Syriac versions. I think there's like 3 or 4. But the one that he's reading, I think it doesn't agree with it. It goes into what's called the Curetonian version, which actually resembles, but especially in this part where he read, it doesn't resemble it at all. It resembles the Codex Sinaiticus, and I thought it was it probably went over his head, but when I said that the Sinaiticus and the Syriac Sinaiticus come from the same place, hence Sinai, yet one is different than the other. So that shows you a little bit of something. And if there's no other real witnesses, how credible is this? You know? Did you get that or did I cut off?
No, I didn't hear nothing you said.
What the heck? Wait, hold up. Let me try to get off Wi-Fi real quick. Give me like 1 quick second.
I hear you loud and clear right now. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, let me try to get off Wi-Fi and hop back on. That might be the problem.
Yeah.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Just let me know when I start if I start cutting off again.
Okay.
What did I cut off at?
Really, I don't know because you really ain't say a lot.
Oh, okay. You heard the diatessaron when I said I was giving comment. Okay, so that's what I was referring to. The Syriac version starts with a D, but also Codex Sinaiticus and the Syriac Sinaiticus come from the same place, yet they differ completely in that whole narrative of Matthew 1. So that's something, and I was going to try to bring a witness to his, but he cut me off. You see how much he's cut me off right over here?
Yeah.
And he ain't want no information to get out. But there's one old Latin translation that agrees with the Syriac Sinaiticus, but there's other Latin translations that don't. So these two translations, the one he read, they stand alone. And but also even that book I told you I got, The Virgin Birth by Gresham Machen. Yeah, even he in there says, okay, let's take this to be actually true and someone wasn't trying to corrupt the text. Because if they were, they would have, out of the Syriac, they would have taken out verses 18 through 25, which clearly lay out the virgin birth. But he was saying that word begat isn't a literal begatting, it's a handing down of the kingship.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
Right. So when he said that, I was gonna make that argument, but I didn't think Ahrayahla was gonna follow it. Because I mean, he couldn't even keep up with direct objects. So I was just like, I'm gonna just keep that one in the pocket.
The good education is definitely compromised.
Right. And his whole conclusion was like, even that what you just read still doesn't mean that Jesus was born of a virgin. Like, bro, I didn't bring it out to prove that. I was bringing it out to prove that what you just read differs with this. Yeah, that boy was lost. It's almost like as if you're in a courtroom and you got a witness on the stand being cross-examined, and the person who's supposed to be on the defense actually goes on the offense. And the judge is like, wait. You know what side you're on, right? You know what you're supposed to be saying?
Right.
Yeah. I think past here, he kind of just goes Old Testament, maybe around like 40. Yeah. Actually, honestly, when he starts going to Numbers, I don't even care to do the rest of that because honestly, that was just boring to me. But if you want to do, because I think we go to Matthew 1 more time. If you want to do that right before he goes to Numbers, and then when he kicks me off, we can just comment on that. Yeah. You hear me, bro? I'm biased. You hear me? Is it my AirPod? Yo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did I cut out or are you falling asleep?
No. And at that time, that was me.
Oh, okay.
Right. No, because what happened is he's laying on me, and I'm stuck in a position. But I think if I pick him up, he won't wake up. So let me try because he is literally laying on me, like, you know what I mean. So I'm like laying down.
You're trying to focus, stay in that position, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And let me pick him up because he's knocked out.
Okay.
All right. All right, got him. All right, let me see what. All right, cool. How that worked out. All right. All right. I'm going to kitchen. Oh shit. Okay, go ahead.
I was saying you can go because I think we go to Matthew 1 more time. You can go there. We can comment on there, and then you can just skip the next parts because the next parts are just stupid to me. Honestly, I was getting bored. But you can like skip to the end where he kicks me off. We can comment on that, and then if you want,
I just want to focus on the topic, which is Matthew's
right,
1 and the birth. Everything else is not even a topic anymore. So
right.
So that's what I focus on. So right now, are we leaving? Is at this point of the debate, is he leaving 16?
Just keep playing it because whenever he goes over to numbers 1 is when he leaves it.
Okay.
Right. We see Genesis, right, which is the.
Oh, he's already in numbers 1:18. Right? Yeah, no, he leaves it. Yeah, he leaves it completely. Go to like 54 around there. A little bit before that, because he already kicked me off.
Israelite, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you already off. All right, hold on. So let me go here then. Let me go with me right here. Okay.
Is the husband?
Well, I want to back it up.
No, you are. I literally heard all of that.
No, right. What I'm saying is, just now, as I changed the diaper, you need to scream. I went. So can I
wait? I want to go to him breaking down this stuff. All right, so at that point we was arguing Sheshan. So right here is where we're arguing Sheshan, all right? And this is hilarious. All right, so I want to see. Okay, this is 2 Samuel 12. I tell you, look, they love to go here, man, and don't even understand it. All right. Okay, so I think right around here. Okay.
Me off every time I talk.
Brother, is Jesus special in being of his mother? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then I want the record to show that Jesus Christ in this lineage is not special of being of his mother. Every man mentioned here is of his mother.
Right.
Even Abraham is of his mother.
Right.
But keep going. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the clarity. So
I'm gonna fast forward.
Of the manuscript. You want to talk to me about English. Show me the Greek. That's what I want you to show.
Here we go.
No, pay attention. Brother, I just showed in the Greek grammatical.
There we go.
Here is of his mother.
Right.
Even Abraham.
So over the day, because of just it means I'm saying that. I'm saying of in English. Right here. Okay. So pull up well, this is English. I'm proving that of the word of in English is a.
I don't care about the English. We're talking about a text.
All right, so you hear that, right? So now the English doesn't matter no more. Where it's only the Greek. This guy is hilarious.
Pay attention, brother. I showed in the Greek grammatical structure.
You just went 5 minutes uninterrupted. I go for 2 seconds.
Wait, so I'm trying to catch that. I'm trying to catch when he was going.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
When did he do that?
Son of Ethan.
Oh, yeah, okay, here we are. Here we are.
Of beginning Joseph. Right? We know that. Yasha, your genealogy is reckoned by the house of your fathers according to the law and practices of the Israelites, the people that you're reading about in the Bible. Okay? So it says Salmon begat Boaz. Salmon was the one who begat Boaz of Rahab. How did that happen? He placed his seed inside of Rahab, and Boaz came out of her.
Right.
Right? Let's keep reading. And Boaz begat Obed of Ruth. Boaz placed his seed inside of Ruth, and Obed.
Yeah, where seed, you see how seed cleverly means sperm now? So he placed his seed. Oh, shit.
Came out, and then Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king. Right? And then it says, and David the king begat Solomon of her. Again, who's the her? It says Bathsheba. Right? It's just letting you know about notable women, right?
Notable women.
For the mothers. Nowhere else are women mentioned, right? Because these are notable stories that we can read about in the Bible.
Okay, now that's false. Women, I don't know what most genealogies women are. Not most, but a lot of genealogies in the Bible, women are listed. So he's lying. It goes back to Sheshan and his daughter. She's mentioned, and the other daughters of sisters of David were mentioned in Chronicles, and then so there's women mentioned in Chronicles a lot.
Right, and Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abiah. Notice how it does not mention Rehoboam's mother. Right? Do you know what nation Rehoboam's mother is from?
What nation?
She's an Ammonitess. She's an Ammonite. She's not an Israelite. But Rehoboam is not reckoned as an Ammonite. Why? If it's about your mother, why is that?
The covenant wasn't with them.
Well, I agree the covenant's not with them. The covenant's only with the Israelites, but that's not the reason why, because your mother does not determine your genealogy, your pedigree. The Israelites, the term Israelite, right, in Hebrew is Yasha Allah Yah. Israel in Hebrew is Yasha Allah. Israelite is Yasha Allah Yah. Right? The Yah at the end, the Yod at the end, denotes that you belong to what precedes it. So it's patronymic of what? Of Israel. That's what Israelites means. Right? Canaanite is Kanaanya, meaning you belong to Canaan. You came from Canaan. You belong to your father, not to your mother. Okay? So Rehoboam, his mother is an Ammonitess. He's not reckoned as an Ammonite. He's reckoned as an Israelite from the tribe of Judah and sat on the throne of David. Only an Israelite, only a Judite that descends from David can sit on the throne, according to the promise of God. Right? Now, I'm gonna spare you and spare everyone else listening, right? Going all the way down here, right? Let's jump down to verse 15. And Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Matham begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph. Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So right here, it's telling you nothing's changed. It's been this you want to talk about patterns? Here's been the pattern. The pattern has been men begetting children of women the entire time. It doesn't tell you that Abraham begat Isaac of Sarah. We know that clearly. Right? It doesn't tell you that Isaac begat Jacob of Rebecca. Right? We know that. Right? It's noting some notable women. Right? It is. And Mary's a notable woman. Why? Because she is the one who gave birth to the Son of God, to the Messiah of the nation of Israel. But let's look at the grammar of this, right?
Yeah.
For good measure.
Not the grammar.
It says Jacob, so this is Greek, right? Jacob de Egenisen
Oh,
down
shit.
Joseph down Andra Maria X Egeniti Jesus or Legamenos Christos. Maria Greek, right?
Hey, yo. I'm gonna use his words. Let the record show he only reads in Greek Matthew 1:16, and he does not do a good job.
Jacob de Egenisen
There's no Yaakov. There's no Y in Greek. But carry on.
Joseph down Andra Maria
There's no Yosef.
X Egeniti Jesus or Legamenos Christos. Right? What did I just say?
A bunch of foolishness because you were not reading Greek.
Right? So let's look at this word right here, egenethin, right?
Yep.
This is the inflected root. Are you familiar with inflections?
A little bit, yeah.
Tell me something about inflections.
You want me to click on the thing? Because the thing about the Strongs is that it just defines it for you. So instead of just guessing, I just read it, I don't come on top.
I'm not asking what the root means. The root is geneo. I know the root is geneo, but it's inflected as egenethin.
That's actually wrong. And it's, see, now that might catch you off guard, Meech. He actually knew, well, he says he knew that Ganao is not even the word. So why did he keep saying Ganao is the word then? And that's interesting.
Egenethin.
I think Meech went to sleep.
Right? So, of course, geneo, this doesn't help either, right? Let's read the definition. Geneo, to procreate properly of the father.
Okay, so now he's definitely cherry picking the definition of Ganao. It's not Janeo, it's Ganao. He's definitely cherry picking because Ganao means to give birth, right? That's all it means. So a woman can do that, can play her role giving birth, and the man can play his role in making sure that a woman is pregnant. So he's really botching this. This is not a good job.
But by extension of the mother.
But Ganao, let me tell you right now, it'll favor the mother over the guy because it's literally giving birth.
Because again, the father's the one who does it through the mother, right? To regenerate, bear, beget, be born, bring forth, conceive, be delivered of men, of gender, make spring, right? Let's look at the outline of biblical usage. Of men who father children, to be born, to be begotten, of women giving birth to children. Women give birth to children because the man placed the seed inside of them. And that's how the Israelites reckoned their genealogy, whether they were of Israel, right? They had to be able to sow their father's house and their seed, as we read in Ezra 2:59, right? So let's go back. Okay. Egenethin, right? It's inflected, it's geneo, but it's inflected as egenethin, right? What does that mean, right? So when we look at the part of speech, right, it's the aorist active indicative third person singular, right? Now, what's important to understand, right? Let's look at the voice, right? Active voice represents the subject as the doer of or performer of the action, right? Example, in the sentence, Jesus returned to Capernaum, Jesus performs the action. Jesus is the one who's performing the action.
Right. So keep in mind, that's only when it applies to the active voice. The active voice, the subject is the doer of the action. I threw the ball. I'm by sports, I'm the subject. I threw the verb. I performed the action of throwing what? The ball. So the ball is the direct object. I threw the ball. The ball is a recipient of my action. Okay, so that's the active voice in Greek. This is the rules of Greek grammar, not English.
In that sense, same way that Jacob is the one that's performing the action of begetting Joseph, right? Now it says, down Yosef, down Andra, right? The husband of Mary. Now, you gotta look at Mary, right? Marias. It's important to understand about how this is reckoned in the Greek is the case, the genitive case.
Right, the genitive case, good.
The genitive case refers to the case used for a noun, pronoun, or adjective to show ownership.
So we already explained earlier when he was talking to Demetri 5 months before, 5 months prior, is that when a genitive case, he actually read it, but he didn't understand what he's reading. When a genitive case is attached to an adjective, noun, or pronoun, that means that the adjective, noun, or pronoun owns something. Nothing owns it. So he sees that the genitive case is attached to Mary. That means Mary owns something. Nothing owns Mary. But he misrepresented that to be that something owns Mary. He thinks Joseph.
What is that telling us? That Joseph has ownership of Mary.
That's false. The genitive does not say that the adjective, noun, or pronoun is owned. It says that the adjective, pronoun, or noun is owning something. So he straight blundered that's horrible. That's horrible.
Let's go back to Luke 1 where you took us, right? Luke 1.
So that's really it, because everything else is to be a repeat. So it just pointing out that the dude did a horrible job of trying to break down the Greek. He does not know Greek. He's never learned it formally. He most likely probably just winged it. He Googled some stuff. He never got clarity. He never consulted. Like, I actually joined Greek groups on Facebook. So anything that I was in doubt of, I put it in the chat. I mean, in the group. I also watched, Greek learning videos, and I corresponded with the author of the video. So I don't just leave it to my imagination. This sounds about right, so I'm gonna go with it. Nah, I want confirmation. I want to be sure that this is the answer. This is the correct understanding of this particular word. He didn't do that, and this is why he made all these mistakes. Now, he wasn't caught because at this time I had no interest in learning Greek. But I realized, it dawned on me, I got to learn this language or they're going to keep lying to me and I got to keep just like believing it. So that's why Unc says an organized lie defeats a disorganized truth. So I didn't want to keep being defeated by organized lies. So I said, let me go ahead and just learn this language. So when I learn how to read it and understand it and the rules of the grammar, none of them can get past me now. This is why I'm able to go back and do a recap and point out the flaws of the mistakes he made. And the mistakes are horrendous. They're heinous. They're like preventable. Okay. It's almost like saying, nah, I ain't use that analogy, but just know that the mistakes were preventable and he did not prevent them. So looking back, it just exposed that he was fronting about and lying and capping about he knew Greek. He really did not know it at all. Terrible job. Okay, so I think that's about it on that. Yeah, better on that. I got about 3 guys that want to discuss, 4 now. 4 guys that want to discuss the same topic tomorrow. I will be recapping DJ Focus live. I'm going to be playing some of the Umar Johnson. He had a debate with somebody. Oh my God, he's hilarious. And so some other current events I'll be going into either before my debate with these guys or afterwards. Don't know. Well, it depends if they're available. If they're available right after I get done from playing basketball, then I'll take them first. But if they're not available, then I'll be doing my live until they become available. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the night. It's 11 o'clock. Yeah, I got to go to the park early, and the kid is waking up. So he's laying on me. I got up. He was asleep. Now he's awoke. He is waking up, I should say.